Doctor Who's watching.
Yes.
We're talking first stories for Doctors.
Yes.
We are not doing
post-Regeneration.
Yes.
Stories.
Well, and the original episode. We are not counting John Hurt in this list. No. Partly because it's a bit fiddly to try and fit him in anyway.
Yes.
We spent a lot of time on this because there are some we disagreed on.
So we probably spent far too much time trying to decide.
Probably. Yes. Without too much delay, we're starting at the bottom, working our way up. So the 13th, the worst first story, and we didn't take any discussion on it, and I don't think I'm even going to, personally, I'm just going to say, Time with the Rani, and that's it, I'm done. If you've seen it, you know why. If you haven't seen it, don't watch it.
Yeah. I mean, there are bits of it I like, but on the whole, it's a bit of a...
I would struggle to tell you something I enjoyed. My favourite thing about Time with the Rani is the opening titles. That's it. Okay, I like the theme tune.
Yeah.
That's it.
Okay.
Okay. Number 12.
Yep.
Is the TV movie.
It's
alright. Actually, I need to keep that for the other list.
It's a funny one, isn't it, that one? I think what lets it down the most is the Master for that one, I think. And the writing a little bit.
Some of the writing.
It's a bit dodgy.
You can't say that Paul McGann isn't great in it.
No, I know.
He's really good.
No.
But the film
I think he's one of the best Doctors.
Don't get me wrong, I think the film is terrible.
Yeah.
But I think it gets a worse rap than it should. I think it's...
Oh, definitely.
It's got some really good elements in there.
Yeah.
And you can kind of see what they were trying to do. But at the same time, it's awful. It's a mess. It's all over the place. But it's quite a nice bridge tonally for the classic series to the new series.
Yes, because I wouldn't put it in either category.
No. When people say...
So it's quite a nice, like you said, a nice little bridge between...
I don't put Paul McGann in classic Doctors. But I also don't put him in modern. I think he gets his own little space of passage of his own little thing there.
Yes.
Which brings us to our 11th spot,
Yep.
which we've given to Deep Breath.
Basically, both of us like everything with Peter Capaldi and then the rest of us.
Yeah, basically, it would be higher up the list if Clara wasn't in it.
Yeah.
I think it's the best way to say that. The villains are okay.
It's the Clockwork
It's the Clockwork people, so they were better in their first appearance.
The first time round.
But Capaldi's brilliant, and it's our first introduction to Missy. Even though we don't know she's Missy yet.
Yes.
And
we all
Missy's
know
great.
Both of us love Missy.
Yeah. We know where we stand on Missy.
Yes. But, basically...
pointy stick reach.
Anything with Peter Capaldi in.
Yeah, Capaldi's
in that
great.
One. Yeah.
Clara's terrible.
Yeah, and so are the Paternoster gang, really.
Yeah, I just don't care.
They don't. No, I don't particularly. No, I like Strax, but the rest of them, I'm just like, whatever. So that's
10,
number 10,
I believe.
Yep.
Which is Twin Dilemma.
Yes.
I think Colin Baker... I think Capaldi is as well. I think Colin Baker is one of the most underrated Doctors.
He's a lot better than people give him credit for.
I think he's brilliant.
I really like Colin Baker.
Lovely man as well.
Yes, because I haven't met him. I met Peter Davison, but I haven't met Colin Baker. I think the only thing really that I really don't like about the Twin Dilemma is the monster.
Yes, the monster is very forgettable.
I don't like the villain, but I mean the rest of it I don't mind. I don't mind the Doctor strangling Perry.
Do you know what?
I don't mind.
If you see that clip out of context, you think, what is wrong with this Doctor? You watch it in the episode, and I'm like, fair enough.
Yeah.
I will defend the fact that he strangles his companion in this episode.
Yeah.
It makes sense.
Because there is a reason for it, isn't it?
Yes, there is.
Which isn't in the clips that they always show.
They always just show it out of context, but his regeneration doesn't go well.
Yeah.
Which we know is a thing that can happen.
Yeah.
He has some issues with his regeneration. It's unsettled, which sort of goes with his character. His Doctor is a bit bipolar. Really.
Yeah, all the way through, I think.
All the way, even in the big finish.
Yeah.
He's a bit bipolar, and it's part of the reason that his Doctor's so brilliant.
Yeah.
When everything's fine, he is quite calm. When he's not, he is pretty furious. Bad villain.
Yeah. Yeah. But Twin Dilemma's not as bad as people make it out to be.
Number 9. We've got Robot.
Yes. This is another funny one, because it's a Tom Baker story, but it's a John Pertwee story. It feels very John Pertwee. It feels
like a John Pertwee story, not a Tom Baker story, but Tom Baker is still... He feels like his Doctor in it, which is good.
Yep.
The Robot itself looks dated, but at the time I'm sure it was amazing.
Yes, but I think it still stands up a little bit quite well today. I think you've got to give them kudos for for that design.
I
Up until the point where it picks Sarah Jane up and Sarah Jane's a ragdoll. And you can see it's a ragdoll that this actor's carrying. But that's never bothered me, the design for the robot. I think he's quite sweet.
I think the robot's undoubtedly dated, but I like the robot. I think he's a really sympathetic villain.
Yeah.
But I don't know. The episode just doesn't. The story just doesn't quite feel.
It doesn't fit with the rest of Tom Baker's era. I think that's the problem.
It's a bit silly.
Which is fair enough, isn't it? Because I mean, Christmas Invasion kind of feels like a Christopher Eccleston story, but then it kind of feels like a David Tennant story. So there are other stories that don't sort of fit one category or the other.
I say we'll get to that.
Yeah.
Later.
Yeah.
So number 8, Castrovalva.
Castrovalva. Now I must say I do like Castrovalva,
but
amongst the other ones, I think that's probably.
Personally, I think I'd put that lower. I just don't care for Castrovalva, so you can explain why that's.
I love Peter Davison. I love Peter Davison's Doctor. I love Tegan. I love Nyssa. Adric's a very good actor. Adric's a very good actor when you string him up. when he's not strung up, is terrible. But so I mean, I like the Doctor. I like that family.
I just don't like the story for that one. I like Peter Davison.
The story's a little bit funny.
I do like Tegan. I do like Nyssa. And Adric is there.
Yeah, I like all the location stuff. I think that's very pretty. And I think I look back on it is because it's one of the first ones I ever watched.
Bit of rose-tinted glasses.
So it's a sort of nostalgia thing for me. But no, I mean, and I think Anthony Ainley's Master is quite good in it. He's very pantomime still in it, but I think he is quite good in it. But no, I like Castrovalva. I don't think it needs to be any further down on the list.
It has one of, actually, probably my least favourite costume reveal ever, though.
What, the Peter Davison one?
Yeah. I'm just
he just sort of finds it.
Oh, there it is. Yeah. Just laid out perfectly for me.
Yeah, I think they make, because you probably haven't listened to the commentary for it, and they do make a comment they make comments about quite a few things, and they're like, oh, you've just found your costume, you haven't sort of gone into a wardrobe.
I've heard Peter Davison talk about that before. It's like, just laid out there for
So maybe that's as well why I like sort of the whole Peter Davison era, is because they're willing to just sit there and slag it off. The whole thing.
Lovingly bash. So now on to number 7.
Number 7.
An Unearthly Child.
Yep. Episode 1, fantastic.
I prefer the pilot to the episode 1. I prefer the unaired pilot to the actual first episode. I think William Hartnell's better in that one.
Yeah. I think you have to give it kudos because it was the first Doctor Who story.
Yep. Looking back at it now,
the whole
it doesn't
thing off.
feel like what it ended up being, but you can see what the original premise was and how it completely went off the rails as soon as the Daleks appeared. But I like it. It's a bit too long.
It's very run around, get caught, imprisoned, escape, run around, get caught, imprisoned.
Yeah.
So I think for that reason it's probably not great, but I mean the first episode, either unaired pilot or the aired pilot, I think that's very good.
William Hartnell is a gem.
Yes, William Hartnell's fantastic.
I always forget her name. Whenever I see her in anything, I just think Susan. Susan is great.
Yeah,
I like her. I think she should come back.
And both of them are very mysterious as well. You don't know anything about them.
They do unearthly very well.
Yes. So there you go.
Something nice to
end
with. 6.
Number 6.
We've got Power of the Daleks. So, I don't think you get as good an impression of Patrick Troughton in this as you do in other stories.
No, he definitely develops more as it goes on.
Yes, but this was the first Regeneration. This is the first post-Regeneration
so I think you sort of have to give it a bit of credit for that.
So, if it hadn't worked, that would have been also it's a good Dalek story.
It is a very good Dalek story.
The way I love, there's a shot. It's one of the few things they still actually have in genuine footage.
Where they go round.
Yeah. And when they filmed this story, which is all about there being so many Daleks.
Yeah.
They had 4 Daleks to film this story. Yeah. And there's a shot where they come through a doorway saying, Daleks are the masters, or whatever. Yeah. And you can see that it goes round, destroy, and it comes through. It comes through the thing, and it turns round, and it's just got these 4 Daleks going around a circle.
Around the set.
So the set's just there, the door's there, and the Daleks just going round and round and round. And it's brilliant.
no, even so, you don't get a sense that there aren't 4.
Yeah,
I don't know if you noticed. There's
the
one
wide
shot
shots with their cutouts.
I was just about to say that. Then there's some wide shots where they're like great big cardboard cutouts of them.
The thing where they just go in a circle actually looked quite good because you don't know unless you see the behind the scenes footage.
Yeah. I like Power of the Daleks. It's I think it suffers though a little bit now because it's only an animation or soundtrack.
But even without that, I wouldn't have put it in the top 5. I don't think.
Okay.
Middle range is good.
Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah.
Number 5.
Number 5.
In the top 5 now, we've got Christmas Invasion.
Christmas Invasion. First story from New Who I ever watched.
First New Who Regeneration.
First New Who Regeneration. Yep.
And well, you said earlier on you don't think it feels as much like a Tennant as it does an Eccleston.
I think the beginning it feels very Christopher Eccleston.
Honestly,
and then
I'd say that as a compliment to it.
Yes.
That it starts off feeling like an Eccleston story and it ends up feeling like a Tennant story. And then by the end, you know what the tone for the next series is going to be by the end. I think you don't get a lot of David Tennant screen time, but I think he just hits the ground running.
But yeah, what he's in, he's very good when he's in it.
I think in a first episode, you get the least screen time of any Doctor with Tennant in this, and I feel like he's got one of the strongest entrances you get. You know who he's going to be in the TARDIS.
Yeah. No, I like Christmas Invasion. I've always liked Christmas Invasion.
And David Tennant will always be my Doctor.
Yep.
I think so. I like the Sycorax as well.
Sycorax are very good villains. I
love the behind-the-scenes footage of, you know how they're stood in the little 4 thing, and there's a bit where it's like cut, and then one of them just goes, Galileo! Galileo figure! Makes me chuckle.
I think they need to come back.
Yes, I would like to see them come back. Number 4. The Woman Who Fell to Earth. When we made our lists separately and then tried to merge them, this was, I think, in the same place for both of us as it is now.
Yeah.
I think it's possibly Jodie Whittaker's best episode.
I was just about to say, I think it's her best episode. I think it's Chibnall's best episode that he wrote from this series.
Actually, I'd say the best episode he's wrote.
Yeah.
I think it's brilliant.
It feels very Torchwood. It's quite dark.
In the best ways.
And it's very sort of, I want to use urban, but I don't want to use urban. It's set very in sort of like the real world.
Yeah. And I think Jodie Whittaker is really good in The Woman That Fell to Earth.
Yeah. It's just a pity that
I feel like
it
she really
went a little bit downhill from then on in.
She really establishes her Doctor in a really good way, and then we don't see that Doctor consistently.
She's very dark in this one, isn't she?
She's quite dark and quite childish at the same time, which we see a couple of other times.
But then she just goes
we see
childish.
It in Resurrection.
Yeah.
And I think it was a really good way to play the Doctor.
Yeah. But,
I feel like they probably filmed that later in the running than some of the other episodes, and she has some good directing behind her.
Yeah.
I think good writing and good directing, she's going to be a good Doctor. And
number
3 was I really like, and Jordan wasn't so keen on.
No.
We've got The 11th Hour.
Yes.
Now, I love The 11th Hour. I don't think Jordan's got enough positive to say, so I'm just going to tell you why it's amazing. Matt Smith is brilliant in it. You've got good humour.
Hang on! Give it here. Blimey. Get a girlfriend.
Good humour. Rory's in it. We all love Rory. Come on, you can't.
Yeah, I like Rory. I think I prefer Rory to Amy. Sorry, Karen Gillan, if you watch it.
I love Karen Gillan.
Yes, I love you too, Karen Gillan, but
I prefer Rory to Amy.
I think Rory's better. Yeah.
But it's a great sort of starting off point for this new generation, really. If you talk about modern Who, if you break up into different eras, you've got the Rusty Davies era.
Oh yeah, no,
and
definitely.
You've got the Moffat era, and the Moffat era, I think, really started with a bang on that one. I think it's a good way to start. I think what I really like about it as well is it was a good stepping on point if you'd not watched any other Doctor Who. If you were thinking, I might start this show, which I don't think many people were thinking that at that point, but
I think most people stopped watching after David Tennant, didn't they?
A lot of people did, but I think a lot of people there are lots of people I know that I knew at the time, they were like, oh, it's not going to be the same, it's going to be rubbish, and Matt Smith's going to be terrible.
Yeah.
And they watched that episode, they came back next week and were like, oh my god, I love Matt Smith, he's the best thing since sliced bread.
I think that might be as well, is that no one knew who he was.
No, I think that kind of helped him though, because there was
it probably helped
expectation.
him. In hindsight, it helped him.
Also,
but I think that's why a lot of people didn't watch it.
Yeah,
maybe is because they've never heard of him before.
But I think there was a lot of skepticism when he was announced, and I think just in that one episode, he sort of told everyone that he was the Doctor and he was here to stay.
Yes.
Number two. Spearhead from Space.
Spearhead from Space. It's a really great story.
It is. It's the first colour episode.
Yep. It's the first unit we're in. I think they're in the Invasion with Patrick Troughton.
They've been in a couple of episodes with him.
This was their first. I would say this was their first proper story because they were then in it from there on in.
Yes.
So it's like a pilot episode for Unit. I think it possibly works. I mean, Brigadier's fantastic.
Always
love the Brigadier. John Pertwee's brilliant in it. I said to you, Liz Shaw is a criminally underrated companion.
I do like Liz Shaw. She's really good.
She's very intelligent, and she's not afraid to stand up to the Doctor when he's trying to sort of dumb her down a little bit.
No,
she's not afraid to stand up to him and say, "Actually, I'm as clever as you are."
She thinks she is.
Well, she thinks she is. I mean, in some of the things, she is.
It's the first time we see the Doctor just straight up steal people's clothes.
Yep.
And I quite like that.
Oh, that's very good sequence. And when he steals the car.
Yeah.
That's very good. It's the first story with the Autons.
Yep.
Possibly, for me, one of the most iconic sort of monster-y things. Everybody will go past a shop window if they watched Doctor Who, or they used to watch Doctor Who, and they'll know what an Auton is. I think it's one of those things.
More so for another episode that we made mentioning shortly.
Yeah.
I think that as well. When I see Shop Window Dummies, the first thing I think of is Doctor Who.
Yeah, especially. I mean, I've always hated Shop Window Dummies and dummies in museums and things like that. So I think that's why.
So that's why we brought in one, and here it is.
I think that's why the Autons work for me. It's just a great story, really. I don't think there'll be any Doctor Who fans out there that will tell you Spearhead from Space is a terrible story.
No, it's a great story.
Yeah.
I think some of the effects haven't aged well, but then again, when you look at the
time,
was I would be very surprised if I looked at the effects.
Well, it was filmed in 1969, I think, so it wasn't even 1970.
I would be very surprised if they filmed it and I was looking at it now going, and the effects hold up beautifully, especially BBC budget at that time.
Yeah.
You know, we're lucky that it started going in colour.
Some of the stories in the new series, since it's come back, I've sort of looked back at it in my rewatch and I've gone, that hasn't aged very well, that hasn't sort of done very well. But no, Spearhead from Space is a great story.
It is.
Fantastic. And on to our number one.
Number one,
which is Rose.
Which I think personally takes a lot of the things that were brilliant about Spearhead from Space and improve upon them.
Yes, I'd say that, yeah.
Apart from the Auton duplicates look better in Spearhead from Space.
Yes, and I think as well they work in Spearhead from Space because when you first see it, the Auton duplicate goes after the person who's been duplicated on. So he knows that it's a villain. Whereas Billy Piper gets in the car with Mickey and she can't tell that it's not him, the fact that he can't string two syllables together. And that he's got this sweaty, waxy look on him. Yeah, he wasn't sweaty and waxy looking when she got out the car.
It's the fact that he doesn't look sweaty and waxy. He looks plastic.
Yeah, and he creaks when he walks, and she can't tell. But
I will just say that Christopher Eccleston is amazing in it, though. I think.
Yes. I think on my rewatch, I've come to appreciate him an awful lot more.
Oh, I love Christopher Eccleston as the Doctor. I think he's brilliant.
I don't like Billy Piper.
He hits the ground right. He's got one of my favourite sort of introductions to any Doctor ever. He definitely tells you what the new era is going to be about. Yeah. Because the first thing he does is just grabs this poor innocent defenseless person, goes run, and then legs it down a corridor, which is pretty much a good sum up of Doctor Who. You've got a good monster, you've got lots of running. That was.
I think for me, apart from Auton, Mickey, and Billy Piper, I like it. I think it's a good story.
I think my favourite just sort of clip from it's just the bit where he opens the door. Like, sorry, I didn't catch your name. What was it? Rose.
Oh yeah,
Rose.
yeah.
Nice to meet you, Rose. Run for your life.
Yeah, no, and it's
I'm the doctor, by the way. What's your name?
Rose.
Nice to meet you, Rose. Run for your life.
no, and it sets the whole tone for even up to now.
Yeah.
The whole tone for the new show, doesn't it? So
It does,
yeah,
brilliantly. It's kind of kooky but quite serious and fairly grounded.
Yeah, and it's got Jackie Tyler in it.
Jackie Tyler, she's brilliant.
Yeah, she's brilliant. So there you go. That's how we would rank them. Well, with a few arguments.
This is how we, as a group, have paired them with a bit of help from our editor, Will, to stop us from to pull us off each other when it got to physical violence.
But everybody's going to have a different.
Yeah,
everybody's going to have a different list.
Please let us know your top 3. What you think?
Yeah.
Any if you think.
I know when we ranked them, it was different.
Yes,
completely different.
Our separate rankings were very different.
Yeah. So if you want to put your rankings in the comments, then please do.
And if you want us to do a separate video for what we each think, feel free to let us know down below.
Yeah. So there you go.
Any suggestions for videos would be great. Appreciated. We might not do them, but it'd be nice to see what you think we should do.
It'd be nice to hear some ideas.
So thank you for watching.
Like and subscribe, please.